Oh wow, another IBC video. We're at a beauty bark place and we're going to get some free IBC totes. I mean, who gives away free IBC totes? It's crazy.
You're funny.
I'm down at a bark plant getting some IBC totes, and these things are, some of them are pretty heavy. They got blocks of ice froze in them. This is how I'm loading them up. Side racks for my 1 ton. Slide them up, get them on the pickup, and load more. Better get to work. Hey guys, welcome to my channel. My name's Hayes Rutherford and I'm coming to you from North Idaho, and I wanted to continue this little video I had going about using the IBC totes. So in my little video clips there, I got a hold of a mulch plant that said they had some totes. I was inspired by Hometown Acres. Adam at Hometown Acres, in one of his videos from a couple of years ago, he mentioned that bark plants get this dye there, and mulch plants, I keep saying bark plants, they get dye in bulk containers, and they often want to get rid of the empty ones. So I called up an outfit and they got back to me and told me to come and get them. They weren't sure how many they had, so the first trip I went down there, the foreman showed me where they were at, but they offered no help whatsoever as far as forklifting or anything. I was on my own. And so in the one little clip of the video, I showed how I pushed them up the ramps. I made ramps out of my sides of my 1 ton, and I was able to slide them up and load that way. And I bypassed some of the ones that were heavy and full of debris. So I made 2 more trips. I grabbed a buddy and we had a good time. We stopped for lunch, drank a couple beers, and I made 2 more trips, and they were all accumulating in my driveway. And I thought, wow, I'm really getting into this. And they were free. How can you beat free? So then I started getting into preparing them. There's a bunch of videos on how, this isn't a video on telling you how to cut the fronts out of them. It's all pretty self-explanatory how you want to use them. So I got into cutting the fronts out and getting rid of the bladders, and a couple of them had a huge amount of dried up pigment, and there's one, the red, that was kind of wet, a bunch of those, and some of them were drying, just dried on, so that wasn't a problem. But so I still haven't gotten rid of the high amount of pigment. I got a couple of totes full of it over there. Well, 15-20 gallons in the bottom of each one of them, and so I still got to get rid of that stuff. So that was one of the drawbacks, and I came from being super high and excited to, oh my God, this is a chore. I ruined a dozen pairs of gloves that, well, they're not ruined, but anything I touch turns black now. A couple of shirts and so on. So, well, I got plans for them. There's a lot of good use I'll put to them next year when I get to splitting again. I plan on bringing them to the couple of different wood service guys that I know that they give me a lot of wood. So I'm going to set up right at their yards on a couple occasions and be able to fill them. But that brings me to my own use for them, and I've tried here. I've filled a couple with some remote stacks that I had and brought them over to the boiler and brought them right in close, so it's pretty convenient. But the thought of continuing on doing that doesn't really sound too appealing to me, because what I usually do is I got my boiler here. Maybe I'll rotate this around and show my shop. So here's my shop. On the far side is another shed, and my skid steer's parked in there. I come out with this skid steer and I plow along here, plowing away from the building. I make about 5-6 passes, and then start pushing the snow in different ways. And then when it comes to this direction, I usually plow right in front of the wood boiler, and I'll have rows of firewood out here. There was some down there where those totes are. You know, and I just plow along it, and I usually use this wheelbarrow and just wheel a wheelbarrow full over. You know, one wheelbarrow pretty much a day, give or take, is what I end up putting in there. And that's been working out well for me. And I cover my stacks with old sheets of roofing steel, and as I work a row up, if the sheet gets loose, I take it and I just bring it to the back and I shoot them in a pile out there and restack them next spring. But that works out for me. These right now I'll be working on, we're expecting a couple of weeks of 15, 20 below. For, you know, we usually get a couple of weeks of that in January, and that's coming. Winter was a little late getting here, and it's been pretty mild this year, so that's fine. I used to do my wood over in this area over here, and what I got going over here is a new house. This is our retirement house. It's going to be well insulated and low to the ground. Got the carport out front. Can't see it with the lift in the way, but just a carport, park underneath. So anyway, in closing, I just wanted to say thanks to those channels out there that have been an inspiration. One in particular, in regard to the totes, next year I want to try to get a little side business going with the totes, where I would deliver a tote of firewood and pick up an empty. And Jake from DIY, Dude Ranch DIY, there was a video recently that he put out that he did exactly that, and I thought, wow, that'd be a good way to go. The problem would be delivering them without bringing a piece of equipment. In that case, in that scenario, he had the place where he delivered had a forklift, so it made it pretty stress-free. And I'm trying to figure out a way where I could deliver a tote without bringing a piece of equipment, without, you know, the dump trailer or skid steer or whatever. And the one idea I have is a car dolly with some roller conveyor rollers on it, and just strap it down and deliver it, and you know, place it where it needs to go, and tilt the car dolly and just roll a full tote off. And if the customer had an empty one, they're easy enough to handle. Put that back on the car dolly and bring it back home. So that's something I'd like to try. Anyway, appreciate y'all taking the time. If you want to subscribe and comment, please do. I hope to make some more videos of what I got going on here on my little 1 acre in Idaho. I'm into all things forest to finished wood products, and we'll see you on the next one.